What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode number 39 for the US Grand Prix. Apologies if I sound a little bit different. I think I'm coming down with a sore throat. I'm using a different microphone. I'm in a completely different setup once again to the last episode that you saw me in. So it's an ever-changing scenario that I have, but this is what we have to deal with. But we're here for the US Grand Prix. We could potentially win the championship in this episode, so hopefully we can get the job done. Just to put it simply, all we need to do to secure the title is get 6th place in this race, and that'll be it. Lewis Hamilton is some way away from us in the standings. I believe he's 81 points behind, so with 3 races to go, all we need is 6 points, and that'll do the job for us. In terms of the constructors, that may be a little bit more complicated, of course, being with 2 cars to really do the math for, and I think the championship is actually further away from the constructors. So we have more of a points lead in the constructors than what we do in the drivers, but obviously there's more points on offer in that championship, so I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. But if things do go our way, we can win the constructors today as well. But heading into qualifying, you can see not the best job, P9. I think I went with the ultra soft tires. Yes, I did. Everyone else went with the ultra soft tires as well. I don't know why I was thinking I was going with a different strategy, but I wasn't. I think it was actually Daniel Ricciardo out of everyone who went a different way to us in the race. So he'll be one to watch out for later on in the weekend. Qualifying 3 now. You can see we are pretty much matching it there with our teammate, only a few tenths away. So the pace is slowly getting better. I didn't show all of my cards in Q1 and Q2, but hopefully in this session we can really drag the performance out of the car and match it with our teammate. USA has always been a circuit where the AI are always a little bit stronger, so we're really going to have to take the fight to Charles with an almost perfect lap to match him. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Qualifying 3 is now over, so whatever lap we do now will count for where we start for the race. You can see we're up by just over a tenth, I believe. My preview window on my laptop, to be fair, is very, very tiny, so it's very hard to read the numbers, but the numbers seem to be pretty good at the moment. All I can see is we've got a green box, not blocks, and that's all that matters. Into the 3rd sector now. Voice, I'm starting to lose my voice already, which is a great sign. Purple to the middle sector, so that is awesome to see. I actually didn't catch the split to Charles there in the top left, so hopefully if we are purple, that should be a pretty good sign anyway. But going through the final sector now, the reverse of Turn 8 at Istanbul. A few newer fans probably won't know what Istanbul is on the F1 calendar. Through the penultimate corner, missed the apex a little bit there, which is not ideal. Coming up to the final corner now, we're up by 2.5 tenths, so we found a lot more time in this final sector. Is a pole position. Is my voice going to hold out? No, it's not. Oh my goodness, I have lost my voice just by doing that. It's 0.06 of a second down on our teammate Charles Leclerc, and that does not get any closer. Oh man, that's a shame. We were actually so far off the pace the entirety of the weekend, and then we get to qualifying when it matters, and we really take the fight to our teammate. I'm actually very proud to get that close. So heading into the race, where the grip levels, do increase, and it does get easier to challenge over the course of the weekend, I feel like we might have a better chance. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But we can win the drivers. We can win the constructors if things go our way. We're starting P1 and 2 for the race, so anything's possible. Let's go now to the race and see if we can do it.
What fantastic enthusiasm we have for Formula One here in the United States of America. And it's an enthusiasm born from generations of memorable Grand Prix racing. Bruce McLaren took his maiden victory at Sebring way back in 1959, and John Watson's 1983 victory at Long Beach, well, that still holds the record for the lowest ever starting position for a race winner. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. They come into this race with a healthy championship lead. I don't want to say the title race is over, but surely it's going to take something special or catastrophic to change the outcome at this point.
Certainly there are worse positions to be in, but it's vital they don't let complacency creep in. As soon as you let yourself think it's over before it actually is, that's where everything can and often will go wrong.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Mr. Monaco completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Ocon and Roman Grosjean. Perez, Vettel, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Pierre Gasly and Van Dorn, Magnussen, Hamilton, Brendan Hartley and Sergei Sorokin. Sainz and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid.
So here we are then on the grid of the US Grand Prix. I actually made a mistake earlier. Lewis Hamilton was the only one who was qualifying on the super soft tyres. Now he's starting towards the back, and that's just going to make our quest for the drivers and the constructors just so much easier today, given that we're competing with the likes of the Mercedes. But here we are for the race. Ultra softs to super softs. Pretty simple strategy. Front row of the grid. 5 red lights, and away we go for this US Grand Prix. Great start versus our teammate there. So heading into turn 1, we might be able to nab him if we can launch him under brakes. Not physically launch him. Let's hopefully not do that. There is actually a bit of contact made between the two of us on the exit of turn 1. Around the outside, it'll have to be as we head into the first section of S's, and we do just about squeeze in front of him. He had to leave the space there. We had the track position, and we take the lead of this US Grand Prix. Sauber 1 and 2, Raikkonen in 3rd. Bottas, who started P4, I believe he's still there at the moment as well. So as long as we can keep Bottas at bay and limit the amount of points that Mercedes get, then we'll be looking pretty good for the constructors as well. But early doors, the pace looks pretty good. We don't have much fuel to play with, so hopefully that won't be an issue. We've only got 0.4 of a lap, so we may have to do a little bit of saving through the S's and then into that, middle sector where there's a lot of tight and twisty corners. That's a bit of a mistake from us there, into the most important corner on the circuit, the back straight. And looks like our teammate here is going to get a great run. It's only lap 2, so he doesn't have DRS just yet, but with the straight line speed, the drag reduction upgrades we've got applied to this car now, it's so OP versus our teammate, who is our now nearest rival. Here we go, side by side through the third sector now, coming up to the third sector. He has the outside. He'll have the inside for the next left-hander if he can hold it there, but no, he doesn't. He actually lets us take that position there. So Charles playing the patience game, maybe playing the number 2 driver game. I'm not too sure, but we have been given a lifeline there. We made a mistake, and thankfully our teammate played a little bit nice there, shall we say. I can't guarantee it'll stay that way for the entirety of this Grand Prix. Charles may want a victory for himself, given that he's missed out on so many over the course of the season. Now is his best chance. Now the car has been upgraded a whole lot. Coming into this episode, we had the ultimate drag reduction upgrade, and we also had the major rear downforce upgrade on the car. So quite a huge uptake in performance in terms of the aero of the car now. So we should be head and shoulders above maybe some of the other teams in this field, and that'll play out over the course of the race. Charles is now in for his first and possibly only stop of the day onto the super soft tyres. I will say he's gone in a little bit early. You can take these ultras a little bit further into this race. We're going to see if we can take them to like lap 10, 11 or 12, and then go on supers at the end of the race, as you guys saw with the race strategy. But I don't know, given how early, as my voice starts to fail me, given how early Charles came in, I think he might be on a 2-stop. We'll have to wait and see, though. He might be finishing on the ultras once again. He's put himself in pretty heavy traffic there, which includes Lewis Hamilton back there, who started on the super soft tyres and is just clawing his ground back after getting that grid penalty. So we'll see how it plays out, but at the moment things are falling pretty nicely into our lap. I will say we're going to be doing the 1-stop. We're not going to have to deal with any traffic. We're doing our own lap times on all the tyres, and we're not really getting held up by anyone, which is not the same that can be said for some of our competitors down in the pack. But coming into the pits now, lap 11. So we did take these tyres quite far into the Grand Prix. They were getting pretty worn, but I was keeping up a pretty decent pace in the laps following everyone else, diving in for their first stop. So we might come out in a pretty decent position here. We will lose track position to Charles, of course, and maybe to Raikkonen, but all these guys may need to make another stop, or they're going to come under, really heavy tyre wear towards the back end of this race. So either way, we're looking pretty good. But rejoining on the circuit, it's very close between us and Hülkenberg. We just about get him there for P12. Next up is Vettel, who made a very early stop there. These guys are almost running 3 wide into the hairpin leading onto the back straight. And like I said, this is the most important corner on the circuit, and when you stuff it up, you lose so much time all the way down this back straight. We get Vettel, we get Van Dorn, and we might possibly get Bottas as well if we can slipstream enough to the inside at the hairpin. He leaves the space, and that is a triple overtake on the back straight. I'm sorry, if my voice was 100%, I would be absolutely screaming right now. I'm doing that on the inside, so trust me on that. I was loving that. You know, 1 kilometer of tarmac there. That was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, we're clawing back some decent track position now. You can see Charles is in the lead of the Grand Prix, effective lead of the Grand Prix for now. We lost a lot of time to him. You can see on the mini-map there. We're a good 10 seconds behind, but I'm almost certain now that he has to make another stop. So this is going to be the race for the victory now. With Charles on a 2-stop, we're on the 1. We are going to suffer quite a bit with tyre wear towards the end, but with the, you guys know, all the tyre wear upgrades we've applied to this car, it may not be as harsh as what I'm making it out to be, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out towards the end of this race. Is this going to be a double overtake into turn 1? Yes, it is, up the inside of Perez and Verstappen into turn 1. That was a huge dive there. We got it done and actually managed to pull away from those guys on the freshest tyres. Next up is Raikkonen, who was right behind us at the end of the first stint. So it looks like he's being jumped by someone. There's a Red Bull up ahead in P2, so it looks like Ricciardo has pretty decent pace in this one. Slipstream on Raikkonen to the outside, and that is P3. Oh, he comes back at us though on the brakes. That was surprising. So maybe I didn't do the best job of stopping the car there. Though we don't have any brake upgrades applied to the car, so it is quite feasible at this point in the career mode that other teams can lunge us back and brake a little bit harder into braking zones than what we can. But you know, we've been focusing on more important areas, and as you can see by just the results so far this season, it has been working. But here goes our teammate Charles Leclerc into the pits. He's going on for another set of super soft tyres. So same compound as us, they're just going to be about 10 laps fresher than us. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out now for the rest of the Grand Prix. He's now chasing down Valtteri Bottas there, and that is P2 for the taking. So some of the guys going for a 1-stop. Looks like Bottas did that, going onto the softs, the hardest compound out of all the 3. We're still out front, just doing our own business. The gap to Charles, I think, is like 10 seconds. So we have a bit of a buffer at the moment, but that lead is going to be severely cut into now with Charles chasing us down.
Charles currently P2. We're leading our teammate by 10.8 seconds. They're on fresh super softs. The time last lap was a 1 minute 32.5.
So there you can see Charles is really starting to close us in now. He's doing 32.5s, which is only a couple of tenths away from what my best is all race, and I'm nowhere near that pace at the moment. So he's really chasing us down. I think the Drivers' Championship for us now is pretty secure. Lewis Hamilton isn't going to storm to the lead. So let's get a quick update on the standings and see where we stand.
As things stand, we'll win the Drivers' Championship, but miss out on the Constructors.
Oh, damn. Okay, so looks like it's not going to work out for us at the moment. As you can see, we're cutting back to the guys in the midfield. This is Sebastian Vettel battling away with Sergio Perez, I believe. Lewis Hamilton's still fighting his way back through the field. Hopefully he can get re-overtaken by someone, and Bottas can slide down the order a little bit too. That might put us potentially in a position to win the championship, but at the moment it's just not quite enough. We're looking through the pack just to see if there's anyone behind who can challenge Lewis Hamilton. Vettel might be able to.
As things stand, we'll win the Drivers' Championship, but miss out on the Constructors.
Again, just making sure I keep up to date with what's happening. I really want to see if we have what it takes to win the championship. It's ever-evolving equation that's going on at the moment. So much can happen in such a short space of time, and only with 2 laps to go, we're pretty much secure now for the win. Charles is getting pretty close now, 2 to 3 seconds back. But hopefully maybe the team can tell him to hold back a little bit and we can get a formation finish for the victory for the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, he's showing no signs of slowing down now as we head on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. His tyre wear really coming in clutch, so now I'm starting to experience what it's like being another competitor in this field who is trying to fend off an ever thirsty Charles Leclerc. But here we go through the final couple of corners. This will be the Drivers' Championship. I'm not sure about the Constructors, but Sauber, we've done it.
You've been superb all season and you've got your reward. You are the Drivers' World Champion. Congratulations.
There were questions at the start of the season as to whether this package could really go all the way. But there's no question anymore. What a special year it's been. And here they are now, the new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. This amazing contest has now drawn to a close. It's Sauber leading the way and demonstrating the ingenuity of an independent team. They are Formula One World Champions.
Sorry for the bad word.
Charles pretty happy. But there we go, guys. That is the end of the F1 2018 Career Mode Series, at least for now. We are the Drivers' Champions. We're the Constructors' Champions as well, and in pretty convincing fashion. Just about got the victory there over Charles. He was really closing me in quickly there in the final few laps, but we just about held him at bay. And yeah, we take both championships, surprisingly. So somewhere along the way, Bottas or Hamilton has lost a position towards the end there, which is really unfortunate for their championship. But even if they would have made it through, I think they would have only been delaying the inevitable. But guys, that's the end of the series, at least for this season. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2018 content. Even if I do continue this career mode series, I think I'll start fresh from next season in a new team. So we'll see how that goes. It all just depends on how I feel once I get home back to Australia. But yeah, just the main thing to take away from I think this year's game is just the upgrade speed is just it's too OP for the player. And yeah, it's just still another case of the game being too easy, which kind of makes things I don't know, a little less interesting sometimes when you get in a position like we did this season, which is very unfortunate. But we'll have to take that into consideration if we do another career mode on this game. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, we'll do plenty of league racing. We'll do lots of other online stuff. There'll be plenty more F1 2018 content on the channel. Just career mode might take a little bit of a break for now. But that's it from me today. Thank you guys so much for the support over the course of this career mode series. And until the next one, I'll see you next time.
You have to do a better job completing the goals the team set out for you. Their ability to develop will suffer if you miss them, and it'll count against you at the contract reviews.